Good Wednesday morning. This is the Great Basin Significant Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, July 12th. We look at our fire potential impacts, and we have quite a few. We'll break it down initially today and tomorrow. We're not looking at significant amounts of dry lightning. It'll be scattered showers around and some wet thunderstorms in areas that have received significant wetting rains in the past few days. For at least a little while, we shouldn't have to worry too much about large fires in this area of green. However, there'll be a push of thunderstorms northwards across eastern Nevada on Thursday across fuels that are drier and more receptive. This could easily nudge a bit into southern Idaho, so we'll have to watch this darker area of red on Thursday. And after a day of respite on Friday, the Four Corners high will pump up more subtropical moisture to some of our drier areas. Much of northern Nevada, northwest Utah, and southern Idaho, both Saturday and Sunday, could see an increase in thunderstorm activity, mixed dry and wet, but definitely on the drier side. If we look at precipitation the past 24 hours and lightning, we'll look at the lightning here on the right-hand side and see that we do have quite a bit of it. It's been there for quite a few days. Fire starts, for the most part, that have occurred have been fairly small through here. And precipitation-wise, we've seen these areas in the darker blue to green. There have been areas of a quarter to a half inch, and even where it hasn't rained a lot, the cloud cover has kept the humidity high. So fortunately, in our southern eastern areas, we put things to bed just for a little bit. But as we can see on our Great Basin fire activity, because of our record ERCs that we had just a few days ago, still some fire activity ongoing across the Arizona Strip, some ongoing fires through here, new fires in the red. We're seeing them basically in all of our quadrants. Observed precipitation the past 7 days and the past 14 days. You can see quite dry across the area, but the wettest has been across our southern and eastern areas, where we've picked up in some of those darker blue and green shades, locally a quarter to a half inch of precipitation. Now, our field conditions are kind of a mixed bag. Where we were most critical just a week ago, we've seen quite a bit of moderation in the ERCs, but it's been spotty, as convective nature is. So some spots that have missed the rain are still in that 80th to 90th percentile through here, but it's eastern Nevada, parts of northwest Utah that have our driest ERCs. Notice how much Idaho has started to dry out through here. Even in the higher terrain, they're up in their 80th to 90th percentile. So that's something to watch. Nevada, deceptive. All the large fire activity we have, despite ERCs in the 50th to 60th percentiles, the 10-hour and the 100-hour fuels tell a bit of a different story. The 100-hour fuels show where some of our fuels have come up a little bit in the orange, but in this shade of red through here, where 100-hour fuels are less than 5, we can see that we have very critical fire weather conditions. Here's a look at our satellite imagery with upper level maps superimposed. You can see subtropical moisture here, mostly in Mexico, streaming northwards along the Arizona-New Mexico border and pushing into Utah and southern Nevada. How this area of moisture meanders over the next few days will determine what kind of weather we have in terms of where the showers and thunderstorms will go. Otherwise, the Four Corners Ridge has flattened a bit due to the strong presence of this deep low up in the Gulf of Alaska. So taking a look at our upper air pattern on the left-hand side, we can see that deep low up in the Gulf of Alaska has flattened out the Four Corners Ridge. Still some moisture lingering across parts of southern and eastern Utah and southern Nevada, where we could see some scattered thunderstorm activity, a little bit wetter as opposed to drier. You can see a fire potential map, how things have moistened up across our southern and eastern areas, still drier to the west. Now, if we look at our winds today, fairly light. These high-colored winds you see here are thunderstorm downdraft winds. So in these vicinities, you could see outflow boundaries of 30 to 40 miles per hour, but in the absence of thunderstorms, winds fairly light, 5 to 15 miles an hour. This map here on the right shows precipitation. We'll see another round of showers and thunderstorms with about maybe a couple hundredths to maybe locally a quarter inch of rain in parts of southern eastern Utah, and also pushing into parts of southern Nevada. These areas have seen higher humidities and showers the previous days, so even though there will be some IA, probably not rapid growth into large fires just yet. We'll need a few dry days to get that going in those areas. However, on Thursday, notice this moisture starts moving northwards up along the Nevada-Utah border, mostly just to the east into northeastern or to the west into northeastern Nevada. And we have high risk for lightning in these areas. If we look here, the computer model does show this little popcorn pattern of very light precipitation, a few hundredths with little misses and blank spots in between. That tells us the lightning will be drier as opposed to wetter. Our fuels here are a bit more critical than the areas further south and east as well. Winds fairly light overall, starting to pick up a little bit across northwestern Nevada. And then looking down the road for Friday, that moisture moves on out. We don't have high risk anymore in our area, but we see the Four Corners high starting to get replenished. We're seeing it draw moisture in here in its clockwise flow, so that's something we'll have to watch. Winds overall fairly light. Notice the relative humidity across western Nevada, 9%, 10%, 13%, even some teens here in Idaho, and in low teens into western Utah. So we're starting to dry out again, and that's going to be critical. Widespread precipitation, the heaviest days in Utah. Now we go down the road for Saturday, and this is where we have some trouble. The way the high sets up and it amplifies northwards, it starts sending some of that subtropical moisture northwards. And you notice it's not that dark green pattern, it's that grayish to light green. Typically that means just enough moisture to fire off scattered thunderstorms, not quite enough to bring torrential downpours. And for that reason, because it's in our drier areas, we have a high risk for lightning continuing across northern Nevada, southwest Idaho, Pacific Northwest nearby also has high risk for that same event, something we'll have to watch. On Sunday, that moisture, you can see this greenish grayish area starts to shift a little further to the east, and that's where our high risk for lightning continues to spread. And then afterwards, we stay in that pattern. This will be more showers and thunderstorms here, but maybe in areas that aren't quite as dry. You can see the dryness levels on the right-hand side. And then going down the road, as we go towards the end of the week, our next big issue is this push of dry air that's coming on in. This could increase the wind field for much of the area that maybe would have had lightning in previous days, and we'll have to watch for the potential for high risk and low humidity for much of Nevada, southwest Idaho, maybe getting to western portions of Utah, but all areas should start drying out. This will cap off the monsoon, so even the Arizona Strip in southern Utah will start drying out in this kind of a pattern. Precipitation over the next 7 days, you see the heaviest again to the south and east. A lot of this will be in the next few days. And our 8 to 14 day outlook does have this below normal signal here, which means more cloud cover and more showers continuing across the southwest and could push into our area. Idaho stays dry. That's where our fuels will probably start drying out the most. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.